Hey everybody, my name is Kash Patel, and I'm happy to be back with Coach Doherty on the Rebound. And this show is how we are going to save this country. Everybody tune in.
Welcome to the Rebound with Coach Matt Doherty.
Welcome to the Rebound. I'm Matt Doherty, and I'll be your host. On this show, we explore remarkable rebound stories of resilience and recovery. We highlight the leadership qualities that emerge in the face of life's toughest challenges, revealing the strength and determination within individuals that inspire us all. Back with me today is someone that understands leadership. He's had a front row seat to Donald Trump during his term as president, and now he is up close and personal as he witnesses the battle between Trump and Harris for the title of President of the United States. Kash Patel has had senior leadership positions in the Trump administration. He was the chief investigator for Congress's Russiagate investigation, which uncovered the illegal actions of the FBI and DOJ. Kash is also the author of the bestseller, Government Gangsters. Kash, welcome back to Rebound. Since we were last on the show, a lot has happened. Trump has had a debate with President Biden. Trump has had an assassination attempt on his life. The RNC convention took place in Milwaukee. Biden was forced to step down from running for a second term. Kamala is now the Democratic nominee for president. And your book, Government Gangsters, is now a movie. So a lot has happened in a short period of time. Let's go to your book. Congratulations. Why is Government Gangsters striking a chord with people and continue to grow?
Coach, it's great to be with you. And what you sounded off on sounds like a lifetime of stuff, not 3 weeks. It's crazy. But some of it's tragic and some of it's corruption at the highest levels. And all of it intersects in one location, Washington, D.C., the swamp, the government gangsters that are just rampaging through that town for decades, living off the American taxpayer. And that's why Government Gangsters is resonating. The whole point that Stephen Bannon and Matthew Taylor did, making it into a movie, which it now is playing everywhere on warroom.film, is to visualize the book and to show people that it's not just a Republican and Democratic thing. It's a revolving door of people that keep being replaced. They just have the same figure, different outline, whether it's Brennan or Clapper or Comey or McCabe, or whether it's Strzok or whether it's Mueller, or whether it's Rosenstein or whether it's Gina Haspel or Mark Esper, and now whether it's Lloyd Austin or Joe Biden or DNC. They just keep switching the names, but running the same corrupt scandal. And that's why I think Government Gangsters is resonating.
What should every American fear most about Government Gangsters?
The ones that are in fear of government gangsters are the ones that are in on the lie. And that's what they fear the most about Donald Trump. He exposed Russiagate, 51 Intel, disinformation campaigns from impeachment 1, Ukraine, to January 6th, to impeachment 2, and so forth, right? They are afraid that if he comes in, he's going to finish the job. And what's so powerful about Government Gangsters is it's grounded in the truth of not about what I think the truth is. It's about what the corrupt evildoers in Washington write down themselves, and we take them and their documents and we put them out because they think they're never going to get caught. And that's why the film's so powerful. It's not me saying anything. I'm literally reading what they did, and I'm taking the document and saying, look at this. It's the CIA's pre-publication review of the 51 Intel letter that Gina Haspel cleared in 6 hours, which is unheard of, and it was a lie. So I think they're afraid of the truth because it's targeting them.
You and I have gone down this road before. All right, but for those who are watching this show for the first time, what is the media's role in all of this? And I mainly mean, why haven't they embraced it and just fed it to the American people?
That's what the media's role should be, telling the truth. The media, for the most part, is in bed with these corrupt government gangsters. Without the media, the mainstream media, there would be no deep state. There would be no government gangsters because they wouldn't partner up together to champion lie after lie after lie, all in the name of getting Donald Trump. That's literally all they care about. And they don't care how bad they lie to you, how much money of our taxpayer dollars they light on fire, and what weaponized system of government they use to do it next. And the mainstream media has been caught lying about the same exact things. They stood up Russiagate. They said the FBI would never lie to a federal judge. They said the Department of Justice would never be weaponized. They said the intelligence community would never rig a presidential election by lying about the contents of a president's son's laptop. They did all of those things in lockstep with the media, and the media is just as afraid now because they're personally attacking us, and all we've ever cared about is the truth.
I love it. I love the truth, man. The truth is coming, whether you like it or not. It's like a big tsunami. I'd rather ride the wave to the shore than be on the shore and get crushed.
Yeah.
Why, though? Help me understand, like, why is the media a part of this? What do they have to gain to play this game?
That's a fantastic question, and not many people have ever really asked that. You know, what they care about is money, popularity, and fame. It's Hollywood. That's all they want. They want to be the best-selling publication. They want to be the most watched, entity on cable news. They want it so they are the center of attention. And what the media has forgotten is their neutrality, their ability decades ago to just report the truth and then insert themselves in that lane and then pull themselves out. Now they're saying, we're not only publication opinion pieces, we're telling you our opinion is the fact. They don't even care anymore. They don't even differentiate between the two. It's one thing if they went on and said, I'm doing an opinion piece. This is my opinionated show. Right. This is my opinions on what I see happening. Everything they say, they want you to take it as the Old Testament. And we're just not going to let them do it.
So how does this work? The person that comes to mind is George Stephanopoulos. He led the bury of Biden, right? And I'm thinking that he got a call from somebody and said, "We need you to bury him, and then we need you to promote Kamala." And so, is he doing that because he gets access? Is he on a payroll? Why do people play the role they play?
It's all of the above, and whether it's Stephanopoulos or anything else, just think of how savage the Democrats have been in the last month. The Democratic Party of the United States of America has thrown out 14 million votes in the Democratic national process that nominated Joe Biden to be their nominee for presidency of the United States before the Democratic National Convention even occurred. And then they airmailed in Kamala Harris and said, we don't care how Americans voted in this democratic process. We are going to anoint the next nominee for presidency of the United States for the Democratic Party. You want to talk about hijacking the system of the electoral public, and they were trying to tell us that's what we were doing. And they get guys like Stephanopoulos to come in and say, ooh, Kamala's the greatest thing ever. Don't worry about the fact that we literally lit state law after state law on fire by removing your delegate authorities, by telling you and mandating you who you must vote for, and by anointing her before the DNC ever even happens. This is the Democratic Party on steroids. And the media is helping them every step of the way because you nailed it. If they don't, Coach, they lose their access. They don't get their interviews. They don't get to go to the White House, and they don't get to go to the Christmas parties. It
is about access. I think of sports, every big time coach had his favorite and gave that person access. And if that person would write a bad article, their access would be cut off. And then their readers wouldn't read their articles because they didn't have inside information.
Yeah.
So how is Kamala part of this apparatus now?
Well, look, she put the wheels in motion. If anybody is thinking she was just sitting on the sideline, not just wishing for this to happen, you guys have been not paying attention for basically the last 10 years. They called the Obama apparatus. They called the mainstream media. They called Nancy Pelosi. They called all the power players in Hollywood, the Katzenbergs and the big dollar guys and the big famous actors and said, listen, George Clooney, we need you to write an op-ed. I mean, these people folded all of this together masterfully. You got to give them credit, savagely, but masterfully, in an anti-democratic fashion, because they knew what we have been saying all along, Coach. Joe Biden is an ineffective, inept president. We are in the national security crisis of our times right now, and they knew after the last debate they couldn't even lie in the mainstream media to cover up his just baseless and ineptitude. And so what they did was, okay, let's appoint the next person we can control. It's not like Kamala Harris has a record to stand on. Her immigration policies have literally led to the deaths of children, the raping of women, and the flooding of our streets of narcotics from China and other locations to kill our youth. That's not a record to be proud of.
You have recently become a target of the Associated Press, back to the media. A once proud organization Now it seems like it's in the fake news business. How are you dealing with stories that are manufactured about you?
Bring it on. All day long, 24/7, 365. I don't care.
That's my Long Island brother right there.
Long Island, baby. Look, the one thing I learned from Donald Trump and before that Devin Nunes was, if this mainstream media is firing at you personally, you are over the target and you keep going. You don't stop. Because the one thing that we care about more than anything when we are in service or when we are trying to have Donald Trump reelected is to give the American people the base level truth for them to vote on. That's all I care about, right? I'm not telling you how to vote. I think you should vote Donald Trump, and I'm going to give you all the reasons why I think you should do that, but I'm not going there and saying you have to do this. I'm going to give you the truth, and I think rational Americans will then say, I will do that. Because I want a secure border, because I want the wars to end, because I want peanut butter not to cost $8 a jar, because I want America to be tall on the world stage again, and I don't want terrorism on the rise. So when they talk about me, like there's like 6 more hit pieces coming out in the next 2 weeks, and these peoples really are asking my publicist the following: did Kash Patel get a challenge coin from the Department of Justice? Who cares?
Wait a second. Hold on. I got a challenge coin. I got a challenge coin. I love challenge coins.
Yeah, but
I got it from General Veneer.
Yeah.
Deputy Chief of Staff, G9.
This is what they care about. This is what because they can't attack our policy. They can't attack the fact that I exposed Russiagate. They can't attack the fact that I led Donald Trump's DOD and intelligence community, and we ended the forever wars, and we shut down the narco traffickers. We stopped the human smuggling networks. They can't shut down the fact that we brought home American hostages and didn't start 2 new world wars. If they address those things, they would implode.
How does President Trump get on the court, on the field, and discuss these issues? Because it's the policies. Right now it's a popularity contest. You see Simone Biles donate $4 million. You see, to Kamala Harris, she's people like her. She's the new flavor. She has a little bit of a honeymoon. Mm-hmm. She's refreshing. People are going to vote for her because they like her, or they don't like Donald Trump. That makes no sense to me. How can we get people in the arena to discuss policy and real issues that are going to impact people's lives?
Honestly, watching shows like yours, because most Americans are sick and tired of the mainstream media lying to them. Literally, I go around this country, President Trump does so more than anybody, talking to the American people and asking them hard questions about, is your life better now? Is your school choice program for your kids better now? Is your community safer? Are your cops enabled to do the law enforcement mission they're supposed to be doing? Do we protect our men and women in uniform when we send them into harm's way? Do we spend more money on forever world wars than we do protecting our veterans here at home? These are basic issues that all Americans, forget the Hollywood elitists who don't care about anything but themselves, and forget the popularity contest. If you walk around mainstream America, you see more Trump signs than I've ever seen before. I got people coming up to me, and I'm a nobody, because we're out there, like you, Coach, brave enough to talk about the issues that matter. And the issues that matter to me are what President Trump is putting forward, not what Simone Biles and Taylor Swift are doing in Europe. I don't care. Great. Go make all the money you want, but you will have no effect on Americans who are rational and knowledgeable on how they vote. And the people that want to vote for you because you're popular, go back to high school.
Yeah. Let's go to break. And when we come back, Kash is going to discuss how Donald Trump has rebounded from an assassination attempt and now having to fight a new opponent in Kamala Harris. OMJ Clothing is an elite men's clothing store that provides a vast array of spectacular brands of men's lifestyle apparel for every day. Elevate your business upscale casual at OMJ. Success comes from standing out. The Rebound is sponsored by Sector Spider ETFs, a unique family of exchange-traded funds that divide the S&P 500 into 11 sector index funds. You can buy just the sectors you like or customize the S&P 500 by weighting the 11 sectors to meet your financial objective. Please visit them on the web at sectorspiders.com. That's sector, SPDRS.com.
Alps Portfolio Solutions Distributor, a registered broker-dealer, is the distributor for the Select Sector Spider Trust.
Kash, tell us how Donald Trump has rebounded from an assassination attempt and now having to go against a new opponent in Kamala Harris.
I think he's done what he's always done. He gets back up. He goes on the campaign trail. He is open to almost every single media outlet on planet Earth. He answers the hard questions that the media wants to ask him, that America wants to know the answers to, and the world. And he continues to take the fight to the American people while Kamala Harris is on Air Force Two, while Joe Biden's in a bunker, while Kamala Harris has not answered a single press question to date or given a friendly press interview. Forget a combative press, which is always what President Trump is up against because they don't like him. But Kamala Harris isn't even given a friendly interview. And so the American people are over the honeymoon period of Kamala Harris's glowing Hollywood launch, okay? Now let's get back to the running of this country. And what the one thing that Kamala Harris was put in charge of the border. I love how the mainstream media, by the way, says, well, she's not the border czar. Well, that's funny. When she tweeted in 2021 that she was in charge of the border, was she just lying then, or was that like a joke? Or did someone hack her account? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So that's it. You just point to her policies and her fail. Like, I've literally been asking the internet for one thing she has done that has improved this country. One. And they're like, she's black. And I'm like, well, actually, she's Indian too. So now you're racist. And since you're just playing race hustling tricks, I know that you know she has no policy to attend to. So what's next? And there is no next for her. They'll make something up, but there is no next because she never had a first.
Well, let's go back to the assassination attempt, because we blow by that.
Yeah.
We talk about the assassination attempt like it was a bad weather in the Northeast, like it was a big rainstorm. I mean, people talk about it like in passing, the assassination attempt on Trump. Like, this should have been made even a bigger deal. I mean, they tried to, maybe, or one person, you know, depending on who you talk to, try to kill a former president who's a presidential candidate. Where were you when that happened?
I was at the RNC, getting ready for the whole RNC week in Milwaukee. And it was just, you know, surreal, scary. When I saw him stand up and wave his fist, I was full of like pride and, you know, just every emotion you can have in like 17 and a half seconds. But you're right. The assassination attempt on President Trump, which murdered an American citizen and left two tragically wounded, should be the thing that everyone is talking about now until the end of time. And more importantly, what they should be talking about is how it happened, how to prevent it from ever happening again. And this is where I'm critical of the Republican majority. Forget the press, forget the radicals. The Republican majority in the House of Representatives has failed to give us a single answer on the assassination attempt. So what happens is we're left with these conspiracy theories that the radical left wants us to jump on. They want us to be the projection con artists that they are. And when the Republicans could have brought in the documentation, subpoenaed the records, serviced the American people, and gotten the truth out, what have they done? They stood up a committee after 4 weeks now, and they are in recess till the middle of September. That is not accountability. That is a dereliction of duty. And we have an opportunity to unify the country around this tragic event, and we are letting it slip through our fingers. So it's just another tragedy compounding a tragedy. And I wish Republicans would give the American people the answer that they deserve, the truth.
Melania Trump, President Trump's wife, has been in the background. She gets shots. People take shots at her. What was it like for her and President Trump's kids when the assassination attempt occurred and the following days?
You know, I can't speak to it directly. I can tell you I spoke to or communicated with almost all of the family, you know, in the immediate aftermath, like so many other Americans did. And, you know, they were scared. They were terrified. They were proud. They were full of, you know, love for this country and patriotism. And they wanted to, you know, unify the country behind what happened to their father, their husband. And, you know, they've spoken pretty loudly about it, and their words, you know, resonate with the American public. And this guy, their dad, their husband, could have just said, I'm out, I'm done. Yep. I just got shot. I'm a half inch away from dying. And what energizes me and what, almost brings me to tears at times is how resolute that man is in fighting for his family and for his country. And I think it's contagious. When I saw him at the RNC, a couple of days later, he was ready to go. His family was ready to go. They were all there. They were all standing by him, and they were all with us, cheering him on as he led the RNC to victory.
Well, let's go to the RNC. It was amazing energy. He introduced J.D. Vance as his choice for VP. What are your thoughts of J.D. Vance and his fit with President Trump?
Outstanding to pick a young American with a military service record that's impeccable, that he doesn't have to lie about, who's been in the United States Senate, who's been a successful businessman, who's from really everyday America and now is sitting on the precipice of being the vice president of the United States. I think it speaks volumes to President Trump's ability to expand the voting base and go out there and get someone who's not from Washington, D.C., who doesn't represent the Beltway, who can go out on the road in a flannel shirt and talk to everyday Americans and say, hey, I'm your guy, who has, for me, it's pretty cool, an Indian American wife, who has a diverse family sitting in Ohio in the Rust Belt that he's taken with him around the country. I think all those things are amazing, but I would love to see J.D. Vance and Waltz just once get on stage and debate. And I would like to see Waltz take out his challenge coin where he literally minted the lie of his title, Command Sergeant Major, in metal on his coin. What, did he get that one wrong too? And compared to J.D. Vance's actual combat record. I would love.
Wait a second. He created his own challenge coin?
And it has the false title of Command Sergeant Major, CSM. The stripes are on the coin that he has handed out for years. It is a lie. And I'm not denigrating his service, Coach. Very big distinction. I'm glad he served. But you're running for vice presidency of the United States and you lied to the world about your service. There is almost no greater evil that you can do to the men and women in uniform, and you continue to lie about it. And, of course, the Kamala Harris people already corrected the website because they knew he lied about it. And now the American people should know the breadth of that lie. We're not attacking anyone's service, but you chose to lie about your service and denigrate your brothers and sisters in uniform, and you're championing that lie to try to get to the White House. I
have always said this in college basketball. When you lie to the NCAA, if you lie about one thing, you can lie about a lot of other things. Yeah. It's just a character flaw. If you're used to lying, you're a liar.
That's it. Simple.
You stated in an interview that I listened to that J.D. Vance needs to play the role as a good number two, not like Mike Pence did. Talk about that.
Yeah, look, what we want is someone, and I believe J.D. Vance is that right choice, who's going to be Donald Trump's go-to guy for anything and everything he needs. Not someone who's auditioning for the presidency while serving in the number two capacity, like a Pence, like so many other individuals did. JD's 39 years old. He's got a lifetime in politics ahead of him. And I think that's why the president was brilliant in making the selection, because I don't see JD out there running for president at all. I see him out there running for vice president and championing the president. And that's what I want. And if the president goes to him and says, hey, you're in charge of the military, you're in charge of the border, you're in charge of healthcare, you're in charge of whatever ball he throws his way, I feel J.D. Vance is going to pick up and run with it and say, sir, I got you, whatever you need. And that's the kind of vice president we need.
All right. Like I did last time, Kash, what question should I have asked you that I didn't?
Oh, man. I think you do your homework, Coach. That's probably why you're so successful. So I'm going to have to do my homework and be prepared the next time for that question.
Well, thank you so much.
You should have asked me, Coach. You should have asked me, where can people watch your movie?
Okay, Kash, there you go. Where can people watch your movie?
I love it. Warroom.film. Go to warroom.film. We're also doing premieres in theaters across America, but check out warroom.film.
Kash, thank you for joining us today on The Rebound with Matt Doherty.
Thanks, Coach.
Leadership is a learned behavior. We all lead in some way, shape, or form. We all deal with adversity. And when you do, I challenge you to rebound. I challenge you to learn and grow. If you'd like to contact me, you can reach me at dohertycoaching.com. That's DOHERTY.com. Thanks for tuning in.
All right.